Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here in Foley Square, covering the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Friday, obviously, there was the sentencing of Jen Shah for 6.5 years for telemarketing fraud. We covered also her cooperators, co-defendants, getting less time, but some time. We're waiting to have her improperly redacted sentencing submission released as Judge Stein ordered, but it didn't happen that day, but it might happen today. Today, the beginning of the trial of Saipov, the man who killed 8 driving down the West Side Highway bike lane, trying to join ISIS. Opening arguments are beginning, and we will be covering the trial. Also, Dirty Dr. Hadden of Columbia University, tried in the state court across the street, but also now in a federal court, criminal charges for sexual abuse of many patients, bringing them across state lines. He's running a pretty nasty defense by the federal defenders. Actually, they have both of these cases, so that should be pretty interesting. What more can we say? The crypto space is getting extremely criminalized. There's some reports of an EDNY inquiry into Genesis, Gemini, and its parent. There's a lot going on. Silvergate Bank is one that we're looking at. It was a heavily crypto-linked bank that the Fed, again, I'm of two minds, but I will say that the regulators have a lot to answer for in the sense of allowing FTX to buy this share into Farmingham State Bank, turned into Moonstone. And we've asked the Fed, we've done a FOIA request, they've granted expedited treatment, but again, we don't have the documents yet. As to SPX himself, yes, we were the first to request, and so far only, strangely, the unsealing of the co-signers, whose names supposedly were finalized on January 5th. There's nothing in the docket at all. This is entirely contrary to other, not just lower level, quote unquote, defendants, but even a hedge funder who was processed last week called Neil Phillips. We're covering the United Nations as well. Antonio Guterres, the corrupt Secretary General, has been missing for weeks. Japan is in charge of the Security Council. They've refused to answer press questions, including about their own misdeeds and omissions. But we're going to be covering this week because we cover the United Nations and they use your money, so they deserve scrutiny. Okay, to be continued, Inner City Press.